Hello, I'm Trudi Paulson, and I provide living opportunities of hope, dignity, and love here at St. John's, working alongside the staff of Family Services to help families grow through the love found in adoption. Additionally, I work with Mike Nichols and Janet Ross, and the three of us provide counseling services and supports to the staff and the elders, residents, community here at St. John's. So yuck was my initial thought this morning when I woke up and looked outside to the gloominess that was there, the gray skies, and the fresh snow on the ground. Just a few short days after spring had finally arrived. And looking outside kind of reinforced or echoed what I was feeling inside. All these worries and anxieties that are going on with our current unusual health situation with COVID-19, with the social distancing and quarantines. It reminded me of the worries and the wonders that I have about the health and the well-being of my family and friends here in Billings, as well as outstate and across our country and even around the world. And maybe you're a little bit like me. You're stressed and you're worried. You don't like the fact that your normalcy has been upended. You feel anxious or sad or bored even. Maybe you feel stuck because you can't get out. You've been told that you shouldn't get out and you just don't understand that. But we have these restrictions and limitations in place. We have children that are home from school not going to receive their education, and families whose lives have been upended as they try and make adjustments to that. Visitors have been asked to not come to St. John's, not participate in the daily life as we usually have, and so we've got lots of people who are feeling out of sorts. Restaurants have limited hours, businesses have been closed or have seen reductions, and so there's lots of people concerned about the health and the well-being of our local community. Church services and social gatherings have been closed, lots of wonders about what's going on down the road. And yet at the same time, life continues, right? We have to put gas in the car and pay our bills. We have to go to the store, but even there, that raises us some more questions and worries. What if they don't have what I need? What if I catch something when I'm there? What if I can't go? How am I going to get my needed items? All these feelings are really, really normal and understandable and reasonable given what's going on. And that's something that we're going to be talking about right now. I want to also share with you, going back to my first reaction when I woke up this morning and looked outside, something else happened to me. As I sat in my living room and watched the darkness dissipate, as the light filled the air and my two dogs were nestled up next to me and the house was still very quiet, nobody else was moving around. It was quiet enough to hear something outside, and that was some chirping, some tweets of some birds. What a gift that was. The song that the birds were sharing with us is a reminder that the spring snow will melt. The sun will emerge. The quarantine will lift. We will get back to how things used to be, or we'll come up with a new normal and we'll figure this out. And while we wait for that to happen, I wanted to share a couple things with you. You may have seen this or something like it. I think it's really helpful in this time to consider what are those things that we cannot control. So that's all the things in the gray box. A lot of it is we can't control what other people do, right? We can't control how they react and they respond and why they're doing the things that they do. We can't control how much of toilet paper is at the store or other items. We can't control how long this is going to last or what this means. And because we can't control that, we can let it go. And then we can focus on what's in the center, the things that we can control. We can control our attitude, how we respond to others, how we choose to follow recommendations, where we get our news and information from, and how often we get that updated. We can decide in these days of new normals and changes, how are we going to spend our time? And that prompted me to find this piece of information that you might have seen floating around, is the idea of, while we're on quarantine in some way, shape, or form, what are you going to do? What is going to be your new normal and your new patterns for this time? So maybe every day you can work on all 6 of these, or maybe even just 1 of these at a time. But think about, what are you grateful for? Who are you connecting with? It might be that you have a group of people that you always go out to coffee with every Wednesday morning. You can't do that right now, but you can still connect with them in a different way. You can make a phone call, you can send a note, you can do a video chat. What are the normal expectations that you're going to let go of? Maybe it is the fact that for the time being you can't go out to coffee with friends. You're just going to let that go because that's something that you don't have control over. And getting outside, we need that fresh air. We need to be connected to nature. It might be a little bit difficult and not so enjoyable today when it's gloomy and possibly icy, so we have to be careful. But we can still stand outside and get some fresh air. And soon the sun will shine and it'll be good to go outside and take a walk. And move your body. Don't just sit around. We need to be active and look for the beauty that we can create, we can find, we can observe. For me, it was the sounds of the birds. That was the beauty that got me going as I started my day and allowed me to rethink, to reframe how I'm going to face the day. That's something that we have to do each and every day. Sometimes it's easier than others. I know that. And when life gets to be really tough and it's really hard and you don't know if you can continue on, I want you to know that there's help available. Here's a few numbers to keep in mind. The Montana Warm Line or the Crisis Text Line are available for people to call or to text. They both have extended hours and increased staffing to make sure that our neighbors are getting the connections and the services that they need. And then Mike, Janet, and I are all available through our counseling program. And our number is listed here, 655-5425. So ask for help. Offer help. Know that this too will pass. We've made it through challenging times before. So have faith and trust that we're going to get through this time as well. And we're going to do it together. Be brave. Ask for help. Take a deep breath and support each other. Take care.